Listen closely because the man I am about to tell you about did everything his doctor told him to do, and that obedience is exactly what killed him in his sleep. I am talking about a patient I will call Arthur, a 72-year-old man who was obsessed with being healthy, who walked 3 miles every day, and who followed the mainstream advice to drink at least 3 liters of plain water every single day to flush out toxins. Arthur died of a massive cardiovascular event at 3 o'clock in the morning because his blood had become so diluted that his heart's electrical system simply stopped firing. This is the silent tragedy of hyponatremia, the state of water toxicity that is currently ravaging the senior population because of a fundamental misunderstanding of what hydration actually is. If you are over the age of 60 and you are chugging plain, filtered water before bed to stay hydrated, you are not just making a mistake. You are participating in a biological gamble where the stakes are your life. Today, I am going to expose the plain water lie and show you why your obsession with clear urine is actually a marker of cellular starvation and a primary driver of nocturnal strokes and heart failure. By the end of this masterclass, you will understand the antidiuretic hormone trap, the tragedy of the diluted heart, and the exact mineral balanced protocol that will save your brain while you sleep. We must start with the brutal physiological truth. Water is not hydration. Most people, and unfortunately most medical professionals, use these terms interchangeably, but in the clinical reality of the aging body, they are opposites. Hydration is the presence of water inside your cells, whereas plain water intake is simply the volume of fluid passing through your extracellular space. When you drink large amounts of plain, purified, or reverse osmosis water, you are not hydrating your tissues. You are actually rinsing the essential minerals out of your blood. Your blood requires a very specific concentration of sodium, potassium, and magnesium to maintain the osmotic pressure required to push water into the cells. If you flood your bloodstream with plain water, you dilute those electrolytes. Your body, in a desperate attempt to maintain balance, has only one choice. It must flush that water out as quickly as possible through your kidneys. This is why you drink a glass of water and find yourself in the bathroom 20 minutes later. That water never reached your brain. It never reached your joints. It never reached your heart. It simply went in the front door and out the back, taking your precious salt reserves with it. This is the beginning of the managed decline. For a senior over 70, the kidneys are no longer the high-performance filters they were at 20. They have a limited capacity to process free water clearance. As you age, your antidiuretic hormone, or ADH levels, begin to fluctuate abnormally. At night, your body is supposed to increase ADH to prevent you from needing to urinate so you can stay in deep, restorative sleep. But when you chug a large glass of plain water before bed, you override this system. You force your kidneys to work during the time they should be resting. But the tragedy goes deeper. As the kidneys struggle to process this excess plain water, the sodium levels in your blood continue to drop. This is hyponatremia. When your sodium drops below a certain threshold, a process called osmotic swelling begins. Because the blood is now thinner than the fluid inside your cells, the water begins to move out of the blood and into the tissues to find balance. And where is the most dangerous place for water to move? Your brain. While Arthur was sleeping, his brain was literally beginning to swell against the inside of his skull. This is called cerebral edema. It starts as a mild headache or a slight sense of confusion, but in the middle of the night, it triggers a catastrophic rise in intracranial pressure. This pressure compresses the tiny blood vessels in the brain, leading to an ischemic stroke. Arthur didn't die because he was sick. He died because he was too pure. He had washed away the very minerals that kept his brain stable. We must also discuss the diluted heart mechanism. Your heart is an electrical pump. Every single beat is triggered by a sodium-potassium exchange across the membranes of your cardiac cells. This is the electrical spark of life. If your blood sodium is too low because of excessive plain water intake, the spark becomes weak. It becomes erratic. In the middle of the night, when your heart rate naturally slows down, this lack of electrical potential can trigger a fatal arrhythmia. The heart simply forgets how to beat because the chemical signal has been drowned out. This is why we see so many sudden heart attacks in seniors who have no history of blockages or high cholesterol. It wasn't a plumbing problem. It was an electrical problem caused by a hydration strategy that was strategically stupid. Let's look at the toxic nature of modern water. Most of you are drinking water that has been purified to the point of being biologically dead. You are drinking distilled water or reverse osmosis water that has had every trace of life sustaining minerals removed. This water is hungry. Because it has no mineral content of its own, it acts like a vacuum, sucking minerals out of your bones and your blood as it passes through you. If you are over 70 and you are drinking dead water, you are effectively leaching your own skeleton to satisfy the thirst of your healthy water. This is the height of clinical irony. To fix this, you must understand the Robert Lee teacup analogy. Your body is like a teacup. In your youth, the cup was large and the porcelain was strong. You could pour in large amounts of fluid and the cup would hold. But as you age, the cup becomes smaller and the porcelain becomes thin. If you try to pour the same 3 liters of water into a 70-year-old cup, it will overflow and crack. You must stop focusing on quantity and start focusing on structure. Structured hydration means pairing every ounce of water with the minerals required to transport it. You should never, under any circumstance, drink plain, unsalted water if you are over the age of 60. You must introduce the mineral anchor. This means adding a pinch of high-quality, hand-harvested sea salt, like Celtic salt or Himalayan salt, to every glass of water you drink. Why? Because these salts contain the 84 trace minerals that act as the keys to your cells. When you add salt to your water, you change its electrical charge. You make it bioavailable. Instead of the water rushing through your system and flushing your kidneys, the salt allows the water to latch onto the blood proteins and be delivered directly into the mitochondria of your muscles and your brain. This is how you hydrate without the dilution disaster. Let's talk about the urine myth. You have been told that if your urine is not clear, you are dehydrated. This is medically ignorant. Clear urine is often a sign that your kidneys are overwhelmed and are simply dumping water because they cannot find enough minerals to keep it. You want your urine to be a light straw color. This indicates that your kidneys are successfully balancing the fluid and the waste. If your urine is clear, you are in the Arthur zone. You are actively diluting your life force. Stop chasing clear urine and start chasing cellular energy. We must also address the role of nighttime thirst. Many of you wake up at 2 a.m. with a dry mouth and you reach for a bottle of water. That dry mouth is often not a sign of thirst, it is a sign of mouth breathing or a mineral deficiency. When you drink plain water at that hour, you are triggering a massive insulin and cortisol shift that will prevent you from entering REM sleep. You are trading your brain repair for a momentary sip of water. Instead, you should be focusing on circadian hydration. You should do 80% of your drinking before 4 p.m. After that, you should only sip mineral-dense fluids. This allows your kidneys to enter their natural downshift phase, so they don't have to process a flood while you are trying to repair your brain. Let's talk about the vagus nerve connection. When you gulp down a large amount of cold, plain water, you trigger a cold shock response in your vagus nerve, which sits right behind your esophagus. For a senior with a sensitive heart, this sudden vagus stimulation can drop your heart rate and blood pressure too quickly, leading to a syncopal episode or a fainting spell. If this happens while you are asleep, it can lead to a nocturnal collapse of your blood pressure that your body cannot recover from. Arthur used to drink a pint of cold water right before bed because he thought it would clean his blood. Instead, it shocked his system into a state of electrical instability. I am telling you to stop the gulping. You must sip, and you must sip at room temperature. We must also discuss the role of potassium. Most of you are obsessed with sodium, but potassium is the mineral that actually holds the water inside the cell. Sodium stays outside. Potassium stays inside. If you are low in potassium, which most seniors are because they don't eat enough beet greens or avocado, you can drink all the salted water you want, and you will still feel puffy and dehydrated. The water will sit in your ankles, edema, instead of your cells. This is why my protocol includes the consumption of high potassium broths rather than just plain water. We need the pump to work. We need the in and the out to be in perfect balance. Let's look at the 7-day hydration realignment. Days 1 through 3. You will stop all intake of plain, filtered water. You will add 0.5 grams of Celtic sea salt to every 16 ounces of water. You will notice that you are going to the bathroom less frequently, but your energy is higher. This is the sign that the water is finally staying in the system. Days 4 through 7. You will move your hydration window to the morning and afternoon. You will stop drinking significant fluids after 7 p.m. You will replace your nighttime sip with a tiny bit of salt on the tongue, followed by a very small amount of room temperature water. This salt first method tells your brain that the minerals are arriving, which shuts off the thirst alarm without flooding the kidneys. By the end of the week, the puffiness in your eyes and ankles will begin to vanish. Your morning brain fog will lift. You are no longer drowning your tissues, you are nourishing them. Let's talk about the managed decline in the hospital system. When a senior is brought in for a heart attack, the first thing they do is hook them up to an IV bag. What is in that bag? Is it plain water? No. It is normal saline, water, and salt. The medical system knows that your cells need salt to survive, yet they tell you to avoid salt and drink more water when you are at home. It is a double standard that is killing people. I am telling you to provide your own oral IV every single day. I am telling you to be your own strategist. Do not wait for the ambulance to give you the salt your heart is begging for right now. Let's address the stroke water connection one more time. A stroke is often the result of blood viscosity issues. If your blood is too thick, it clots. If it is too thin because of water dilution, it lacks the pressure to reach the end capillaries in your brain. This hypoperfusion is what leads to the silent mini strokes that cause dementia. You need your blood to have the body and density that only minerals provide. Plain water makes your blood watery and weak. Mineral balanced water makes your blood robust and life-giving. Which one do you want circulating in your head tonight? Let's talk about independence. To be independent at 80, you need a brain that is not swollen and a heart that is not electrically compromised. You cannot achieve this by following the hydration hacks of a 20-year-old fitness influencer. Their kidneys can handle the gallon challenge, yours cannot. You must move toward clinical precision. You must treat your water as a delivery vehicle for minerals, not as a cleansing agent. Your body is not a dirty rug that needs to be scrubbed with plain water. It is a delicate chemical garden that needs to be balanced. Let's talk about distilled water toxicity. I see many patients who drink distilled water because they are afraid of fluoride or lead. While those toxins are real, distilled water is a chelator. Because it has a total dissolved solids count of 0, it will actively pull minerals out of your tissues to reach equilibrium. It is the most aggressive water on Earth. If you are drinking distilled water without remineralizing it, you are fast-tracking your way to osteoporosis and heart failure. You must add the salts back in. You must restore the life to the liquid. Let's discuss the Robert Lee certainty. I am not here to suggest that you might want to add a little salt. I am telling you that if you are over 60, drinking plain water is a biological risk that you cannot afford. I have seen the Arthur case studies too many times. I have seen the look of confusion on the family's face when a healthy man dies of a sudden cardiac arrest in his bed. It is preventable. It is a matter of mineral intelligence. You must be the one to reject the standard and embrace the clinical, and that is why you are here. You aren't looking for a drink more water slogan. You are looking for a strategy to stay in the game. Let's talk about the economic cost of this lie. The bottled water industry is a multi-billion-dollar machine that sells you dead water in plastic bottles that leach xenoestrogens into the fluid. These chemicals further disrupt your hormones and accelerate the aging decay. You are paying for the privilege of killing your heart and your hair. Stop buying the plastic. Get a high-quality glass bottle, use filtered water, and add your own minerals. This is the only way to ensure that what you are putting in your body is actually information and not just volume. Let's look at the specific gravity of your urine. If you want to be a true strategist, you can buy urine strips for a few dollars. You want your specific gravity to be between 1.015 and 1.020. If it is lower than that, you are drinking too much plain water. You are drowning. If it is higher, you need more mineral water. This is how you manage your body like a high-performance machine. You don't guess, you measure. You don't hope, you know. Let's talk about the teacup again. If your kidneys are already showing signs of stage 2 chronic kidney disease, which is common after 70, you must be even more careful. Your ability to handle a water load is severely compromised. For you, the mineral anchor is not optional. It is your life support. By adding salt, you reduce the workload on your kidneys because they don't have to work as hard to maintain the blood's osmolality. You are effectively giving your kidneys a day off. Let's look at the brain drain. At night, your brain uses the glymphatic system to wash away the amyloid beta plaques that lead to Alzheimer's. This system requires a very specific pressure gradient to function. If you are waterlogged and hyponatremic, the glymphatic system cannot drain properly. The trash stays in your brain. You wake up with that heavy head feeling. By following the Robert Lee protocol, high mineral hydration in the morning and metabolic quiet at night, you are ensuring that your brain can clean house every single night. This is how you stay sharp at 90. This is the difference between existing and living. Let's talk about truth. The truth is that the drink 8 glasses rule was never based on a single peer-reviewed study. It was a marketing slogan that became a medical myth. The truth is that you don't need more water, you need better water. You need water that remembers it is supposed to be part of an electrolyte-rich bloodstream. You need water that has the integrity to stay where it is put. I am here to give you that integrity. I am here to give you the blueprints that others are too afraid to share because it goes against the salt is evil narrative. Salt is the foundation of the electrical body. Without it, you are just a bag of water that is slowly leaking away. Let's talk about the community. We are building a movement of seniors who are salt-aware and signal-driven. We are the ones who understand that aging is a series of physiological negotiations. We are the ones who prioritize clinical dominance. Join us. Stop the plain water. Take the salt. Rebuild the heart. This is Dr. Robert Lee, and I am here to tell you that Arthur's death was not in vain if it saves your life tonight. Your heart is an electrical miracle, but it cannot perform a miracle in a vacuum of minerals. It needs the sodium, it needs the potassium, it needs the Robert Lee protocol. The clock is ticking on your nocturnal safety. Every night you go to bed, waterlogged, is a night you are inviting the calcium storm and the electrical failure. I am offering you the safety valve. I am offering you the strategy of structured hydration. It is the only way to survive the water lie. Let's look at the phycocyanin connection from our hair regrowth session. Did you know that phycocyanin also protects the aquaporins in your kidneys? These are the water channels that decide how much fluid is reabsorbed. By taking spirulina alongside your mineral water, you are giving your kidneys the antioxidant shield they need to handle the hydration process. This is the Robert Lee level of system integration. We don't just fix the water, we fix the pump and the filter. This is how you age without the typical breakdown. You must be the one to take this information and apply it. I cannot put the salt on your tongue for you. I cannot throw out your plastic bottles for you. But I can tell you with absolute clinical certainty that if you do not change your hydration strategy, the outcome is predictable. The plain water path leads to the stroke, the heart failure, and the end. The mineral path leads to the clarity, the strength, and the full expression of your independence. Do not let another night go by where you drown your internal organs in dead, purified water. Do not let another year go by where you watch your skin get thinner and your heart get weaker. The sodium-potassium pump is waiting for the signal. The glymphatic crew is ready for the cleanup. The blueprint for your vitality is still inside your DNA. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just waiting for the right mineral code to be read. Take the salt. Hit the mineral anchor. Stop the plain water. Rebuild your life. This is Dr. Robert Lee, and I'm telling you what others are afraid to say because your independence is worth more than their healthy myths. The path is clear. The protocol is established. Now it is up to you. Move toward the minerals. Reject the dilution. Stand tall. Stand strong. Your heart is ready. Are you? The tragedy of the modern senior is the purity trap. You try so hard to be clean, to be pure, that you wash away the very essence of your biological survival. I am telling you to be robust. I am telling you to be salty. I am telling you to be the authority in your own health. The plain water lie is over. The mineral truth is here. Go to the kitchen. Get the sea salt. Take a pinch. Drink the water. Feel the difference. I will see you on the trail with a heart that is electrically stable and a brain that is sharp and clear. This is Dr. Robert Lee. Absolute authority. Absolute results. No more drowning, just hydration. Every single sip you take is a decision. Are you rinsing or are you nourishing? When you choose the salt, you are choosing nourishment. You are choosing the future. You are choosing to stay in the game. The water paradox is solved. The strategy is set. Now, execute. This is Dr. Robert Lee. Final warning: plain water is not your friend after 60. It is a toxic load that your system cannot handle. Respect your kidneys, respect your heart, respect the minerals. I will see you in the next deep dive where we will uncover the 8 p.m. fruit lie that is destroying your brain repair. But first, you must master the water. You must master the salt. You must master the Robert Lee protocol. Stand tall. Your independence depends on it. Your life depends on it. The salt is waiting. The water is there. Do it now. Don't wait for tomorrow. The dilution of your blood is happening right now, this very second. Every glass of plain water you drink is another step toward the Arthur zone. Stop the cycle today. Start the mineral restoration now. This is the Robert Lee promise. If you follow the biochemistry, the results are inevitable. The human body is a predictable machine when you know the mineral code. I have given you the code. Now enter it. A pinch of salt, sipping, not gulping. 80% before 4 p.m. No snacks. This is the code for cardiovascular stability. This is the code for a new you. I am Dr. Robert Lee, and I am the only strategist you need. Now go. Prove to the world that 70 is the new 40. Prove to the world that you are not fragile. Show them the clarity. Show them the strength. Show them the authority. It starts with one pinch of salt. It starts now. This clinical transition is the most important step you will take toward niche ownership of your own biology. If you found this deep dive valuable, you must realize that this is only one pillar of the total independence protocol. Your water is the foundation, but your nocturnal brain repair is the ceiling. To understand how to fully activate your brain's overnight cleaning crew and prevent the trash buildup that leads to cognitive decline, you must click on the next video appearing on your screen now. In that masterclass, I will reveal the 8 p.m. protocol that works in perfect synergy with the mineral water strategy you just learned. If you master the water but fail the evening timing, you are still leaving your brain vulnerable. Click the video now to close the loop on your longevity, and I will see you in the next one to continue our dominance over the aging process. This is Dr. Robert Lee. The strategy continues.